Right then, in this film we're going to start to really do some work with databases and really start to move you on from what you guys perhaps have previously been doing with some of your teachers. What I'd like to do is this. We've got this DVD copy ID, and to make life a little bit easier, just to illustrate a point, what I've actually done is in the table of DVD copies, I've just changed some of the titles so they're not all the same as Magic Roundabout and Slumdog. Let's just close that down for a moment and come back into here. But the whole point is, instead of just having 10, 1 and 8, I'd like to fire up the names of the films alongside these. And to do that, there's several ways of doing it, but I'm going to use one which I think is the easiest way for people to get their heads around. And the first thing that's going to involve is thinking about what information do we actually need here. And what we need here is the DVD copy ID and the title of the film. So I'm going to create a very quick query. I'm going to close this down. Yeah, I'm going to close this down. I'm going to just go to queries now. I'm going to create a quick query in the design view. And the DVD copy ID is stored in the DVD copy table, and the title is there. And you can see here that these two are linked together. So I'm just going to put the copy ID by double clicking and the title. And if I run this query, we get a list that video number 1 is Borat, 2 is Borat, 9 is Superbad, etc, etc, etc. So I'm going to close this down and save it. I'm going to call this one QRY, and we're going to call it underscore, and we'll put it copy ID and title. So that kind of makes some sort of sense to us. Now go back to the forms, and we're just going to pop up the order items here, which just fires up this one box at this moment in time that does that. It just produces we type in the DVD copy ID. I want to have a more complex box than this, so what I'm going to use is something called a combo box. And on the toolbar here we have this. It's a combo box, and I'm just going to click on it, and I'm going to click once, just in a bit of grey, and then a wizard's going to fire up. And I want to type in I want the combo box to look up the values in a table. No. In a query, yes please. So I'm going to press next here, and it's all my tables. That's no good. Go to my queries, and here's my query. I'm going to press next here, and it says, what ones do you want to appear in the drop down? Well, I'd like both of them, thank you very much. And it says, how do you want to sort them? I think it's probably advisable to sort this actually numerically on the copy IDs. It'd be easier to find them then, I think. Especially if you've got the copy ID written on the back of the DVD that someone's trying to hire out, of course. So we're going to press next here, and it's going to ask me some other stuff. Do you want to hide? No, I don't want to hide. We'll press next here. Do you want to start? Just press next, next. And then it says, what label would you like? So I'm going to call this, well, I'll leave it as it is, DVD. We'll leave it as that. Press finish. Now I'm just going to prove to you that this actually works. Let's maximize this form up, and we get something that looks a little bit like this. We can't quite see all of them, but certainly this box now has both the copy ID and the title of the film. So we really kind of want this stuff over here in these boxes. There's a really simple way of doing it. If you just right click on the properties of this, you'll find in the row source we've got select QRY copy blah 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 blah. I want this, so what I'm going to do is highlight it all. I'm going to press Control C to copy that. Now let's go to this box. Don't forget those other two are hidden there, but let's go to this box, and we want to put that into there. So if I go to properties, there's nothing about record source. The reason why there's nothing about record source is this box is a standard unbound text box. It is not a combo box. So before I try and do that, what I'm going to have to do is change it to a combo. And once I've changed it to a combo and go to properties, we can see I've got my row source. I think I said record source last time. So we're just going to paste that in there. And what we'll do is we'll close this down, and we'll fire this one up, and it's a drop down list just like this one, and when we press it, there's only one row, one column there. Why was that? Well, the reason why that was, let's go to properties, is if we look just below here, it says column count 2. Well, on this one the column count is 1, so I'm going to make that a 2, and I'm going to preview that, and what we find is that it still looks a bit funny, but it does actually have them in there, just not very well designed. So why don't we make our column width, and I'm going to go 1 centimetre here, and I'm going to go 4 centimetres here, and my list width, I'm going to make that 5, 1 plus 4, and we'll press enter, and we'll now have a click on these, and we can see that these appear. This is what we want. So we're happy with that. We don't need this bit anymore. So tell you what, let's get rid of it. Bye-bye. Now, if we just simply close this down, and we'll press yes. Again, if we go to the main form, this is, well, let's get rid of that. This is great. This fires up brilliantly, but of course the title of the film, when we select one, doesn't actually appear here. So we need a little box here to make that happen. Well, that's dead simple, because all you do is this. You go back in here, and you say, okay, I need a box. So, here's one. This is a text box. And we pop that there, just move that up a little bit. It says text 14. I don't really want that label, so I'm going to move this over here. And we now need to tell the computer, fire up in this box the second part of that drop-down list. So what you do is this. Just go to Properties, and you say the following. Well, can't do the following yet. What's the name of this box is what we want to know. Let's go to Properties here. This is called DVD Copy ID. So in here, I'm going to say, under Properties, the control source is equal to DVD Copy ID. I'm going to put a full stop, and then I'm going to type column, I'm going to get this wrong, in round brackets, round brackets there, 2. And when I do this, it isn't going to work. And I'll show you why in a moment. Look, fire it up, magic roundabout, nothing's appearing here. And we're thinking, why not? Surely this is column 1, and this is column 2. The DVD numbers there in 1, and the title's in 2. Well, the little caveat to this is this isn't column 1. This is column 0. This is column 1. So instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we actually count 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I go back into design and I change this 2 to a 1, and now come back in here, you find that it fires up the names of the DVDs. And if we close this down and press yes and go back to our form of order, once you pick your film, or you can type it in manually, it will automatically update the title of the film in that box there. So that's a nice little touch. So for example, you wanted to double check when you pop in number 10, someone is definitely having a copy of Slumdog Millionaire, it fires it up there. Number 10 is definitely Slumdog Millionaire. So those barcodes or numbers on the back of your DVDs obviously would be correct. So that was probably the first sort of real complex thing that we're going to do. And what we'd like you to do is, if you've watched this video all the way through, what we suggest you do is wind it back to the beginning and go through it step by step. Okay? But this is the power. This is now where we're moving on really to what I would say is good A-level database design. We're starting to get there. Long way to go yet, but that's a nice start. So we'll let you go off and do that now.